Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. We are here to do another story using our shuffle and pull from last night, or this morning, rather, if you want to be technical. The overall energy of this reading is betrayal. Someone was trying to bring someone over to their side of the team or seeing things their way. Ultimately, betraying this pit bull and mermaid. Pit bull could have been someone who was designed to or meant to protect this mermaid. I'm having that, remembering that story I read about the dogs that go out in the ocean with their owners on the boats and make friends with the dolphins. But the dolphins are so interested in the dog because, of course, they've seen humans, but they see a dog and they're like, wow, that's a dog. Let me come and check them out. And then they find out that they're both of the animal species, so to speak. Of course, one's in the water. And they become great friends. And some of them have even have said to be best of friends on those stories. So, I mean, they're from two different walks of life, but they met each other and really liked each other. And this could be the same as this couple here. They could have betrayed that couple, which was my first thought, or that couple could be the betrayers. One could be on the negative side of the pit bull characteristics, and the other one is overly emotional. I don't know why I'm thinking the person resembles a pit bull or a bulldog or something. And the other one is highly over emotional, blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't know. Someone in this story is very, with the blueberry card there at the beginning, very entitled, bratty. They're wanting this new beginning with the egg. They're wanting this new beginning. They're wanting this ring or this engagement or this marriage. I'm looking at the egg. A fresh start. Healthy. It's a complete protein. You hold it with kids' gloves. Could also be reproduction if it's fertilized. Perhaps because the blueberry is in between the mermaid and the egg, that this is a female that is quite entitled. They're wanting the jewels, they're wanting the ring, they're wanting the commitment. With the zipper, that's like it's unzipping, or is it zipping? We don't know. Open and shut. It's starting to reveal something or starting to hide something. I'm thinking it's more revealing something and opening something. Maybe someone's just too hot or too warm in this thing that's zippered, so they're trying to take it off. Could have something to do with a camp or a vacation or somewhere out in the wilderness. It's being illuminated. Someone's left the camp because I don't see anyone in the camp. If they've left the camp or they're in that tent, they're missing that shooting star, their opportunity for making a wish. So perhaps this betrayal had to do with someone missing that opportunity to make a wish. This could be a sibling who this is happening to in your environment. This person could be a sibling. They could have brothers and sisters. It could be a sibling who's doing this to the person who's betraying the person. Whomever it is, they're zoning out. This is the zombie card. They're zoning out. Deer in the headlights kind of look. Zombie not having their own brain, right? When you see zombies in the movies, it kind of just looks like they're just aimlessly heading in some direction. This person who, the sibling could be very welcoming and very nutritious, could be wearing, newly wearing a crown, newly having some dignity, newly having some reservations. It could newly be into getting the prosperity. I'm saying newly because that pineapple has like a greenish top on it. Well, it's going to. They could be up in age. It could be a Scorpio. Someone who likes the heat, likes the sun. Peacock. They could be a little bit arrogant and cocky. I mean, that would go exactly with the blueberry being entitled. They could strut around and showing their feathers like they're all that. Pretty sure that they think they got away with something. But they're finding a point where they're frustrated underneath the zipper. Maybe they can't get the zipper down any more than it already is, so they can't get in further than what they are. So maybe they're trying to ask people for help, and they're throwing their lines out there to see who's willing to help them. And they're going deep. You can see the line here. It's not just on the surface, but it goes all the way down. So they're throwing that line out there deep, far and wide, trying to see where they can get this help from. Perhaps when they're reaching out for help for others, they're being told that you better beware, because this is the skunk card showing his tail, just like the peacock showing their tail. You want to be mindful. I wouldn't get too comfortable approaching that situation. Something could happen. Or this person could need help because they were sprayed, because they were found out, because they approached too closely, they got some kind of ramification from that. Because skunks will only spray you when they feel like they're backed in a corner, right? If they feel a predator is near, they'll try to protect themselves. This can be a curvy Scorpio, because our scorpion card is symbol of Scorpio. This person can appear to be super sweet on the inside. The watermelon card is also about prosperity, which ironically is under the pineapple. We've got those first 3 rows of fruits on the table. This person can like fruits. Could be their favorite section of food. Maybe they just come across as being healthy and sweet. The watermelon card is also, it takes 70 to 100 days in order for it to mature or ripen. Maybe they had 70 to 100 days to try to get the Red Rover to come on over to their side. We have the hoot hoot owl here, the owl that's ready to speak, that's ready to be noticed, the one that doesn't care if they're noticed or seen. Owls do all of their business in the dark, behind the scenes, hidden. But something is sprouting now. Something's coming to the surface. As we were saying with the zipper, something's being exposed. Something is growing. You reap what you sow. Our next card here is the Spirits card, an alcoholic beverage. It's called Spirits for a reason, folks. When you drink alcohol, it lowers your resistance and it clouds your judgment. It is said that that act of clouding your judgment and lowering your resistance is potential for low energy entities to attach themselves to you, and then you bring them home, and then it causes all kind of, unless you're already at home. But then now you have them living with you and attached to you and watching you with the hovering here. The drone. So maybe someone was being watched as they were drinking. Perhaps they have a spirit who hovers around them, a monitoring spirit. It's my understanding, and I could be wrong, but whoever knows about it could educate me and others about what a monitoring spirit is. But as far as I understand, it's someone who's in your life just to kind of check in on you, quote unquote, kind of just to see what you've been up to, quote unquote. Where that information goes, I don't know. Maybe they have a friend or someone they're working with that the information goes back to. I don't know. Fishing for information, again, what's going on in their camp. Let me find out what's going on in their camp. I'll bring it back to my camp. You know, that word usage of the word camp could symbolize like your group of people. Then we've got the penguin card here, which is they live in the Arctic where it's cold. Maybe this person is cold who's monitoring. With the 11 card, though, I'm thinking the penguin might be wanting to approach someone with a pebble of some sort, with the ring up there. Someone's wanting to come and approach and give someone a ring, make some kind of commitment, pick them to be their person. The 11th card could have something to do with the 11th house. Hey Google, what does the 11th house mean?
The 11th house in astrology is primarily known as the house of friendship and companions. It governs your social networks, the groups you belong to, and how you interact within your community. It's also strongly associated with your hopes, dreams, long term aspirations, and humanitarian goals. Essentially, it shows your collective energy and your role within society. Did you want to know what zodiac sign or planet rules the 11th house?
Yes, please.
The 11th house is ruled by the zodiac sign Aquarius. As for the ruling planet, it's governed by Uranus, the planet of innovation and change. However, Saturn is considered a co ruler because it was the traditional ruler before Uranus was discovered.
Interesting. I had no idea that the 11th house was connected to the Aquarius sign, or that it also is bringing in our camp here. And that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, you can't really make this stuff up, right? As per, I think it was yesterday's story or the day before yesterday's story, where we had the other situation where we were talking about the houses, and it was also confirming everything that was being said already. And I think that's just amazing. Um, Again, I have to say, all I do is I create the cards, I doodle the cards, I color the cards, I put them in a deck, I shuffle the cards, I put them out on the table. I have no control of what cards come out or in what order they come out in. So, I mean, these are not messages from me. These are not my stories. This is obviously some greater force that wants these stories to be explained. For me to come here and do this on a daily basis, day in and day out, I'm thinking like the hamster wheel card. It's clearly an indication that um, that it's meant to be heard. And I can only just go with the flow of things. And if the message is not heard because of audio issues or memory issues on the phone or whatnot, then maybe it wasn't the perfect timing for that message to be heard. We can only rely on and give credit where credit is due, right? So House of Partnerships, I guess it was saying, I can't believe I can't remember exactly what it was saying again, but whatever that is entails, the Midas touch was someone had that wish, someone wanted a wish granted. The Midas touch was a story about the king who wanted success in everything that they had done and prosperity. And interestingly enough, the three cards, the Midas touch, the watermelon, and the pineapple, all have to do with prosperity and wealth of some sort. Where the blueberry is someone who's entitled and they feel like they're entitled to that prosperity and wealth, whether they put the work in for it or not. That's where the danger lies, that entitlement. When you feel like you're owed something and you have that negative feeling within about it, that's where the issue is. Blueberries are also antioxidants. So in this case, it's obvious that the negativity and the entitlement is overruling any kind of benefits that that blueberry would have had in this story. That person could have been a good person. That person could have been a really kind, smart, loving, giving type of person, but their sense of entitlement of what belonged to them really kind of canceled it out in this moment of this decision making of what they have done in this storyline. Being cocky, arrogant, really blocked them in the long run. And now they're frustrated. Had they not dealt with the situation in the way that they had, they could have had exactly precisely what it was that they were hoping for or trying to steal from someone else. Whatever it was that they were trying to betray someone else for, it could have ended up in their lap anyway, if they had continued on the path of being honest and being who they truly were. That's unfortunate. We've got the taco card here. A taco is folded in half. We have a lot of countries involved with taco. There's Norway, I think it was Norway and Switzerland? Sweden. Sweden and Norway are the ones who eat the most tacos. And then we've got California and Texas are most known for their tacos because they have the 86% of the taco market. And then, of course, they were originated in Mexico. It could also signify a female. Tacos, what is it called? Acronym, I believe it's called, is about prayer, thanksgiving, adoration, confession, others, meaning praying for others, and self, speaking about your own concerns is the proper way to pray. Perhaps someone is thinking about those things. That they went and stole something and now it's something that's becoming a curse for them because of that wish. When, as I said, if they would have just waited it out, they probably would have had at least part of whatever it was. Now this person is thinking about the fact that they had this whole egg here and now it's cracked and in the frying pan. It's feeling the heat. Maybe it's feeling the heat from spirits that are attached to them at this point. We've got the coffee cup here also confirming the fact that there's heat and fire and warmth coming off of this situation. Someone is wanting to spill the beans, so to speak. The beans are grounded. They're all ground up. And someone's side-eyeing the circus. So they're kind of looking to it like, looking at the mess that they've caused, perhaps, for themselves and everyone around them. They put them all in danger, and now they're kind of just zoning out like, what did I do? What the heck did I do? How is this mermaid so protected? And I'm looking at the mermaid and the pit bull. Pit bull was used to protect their children, like as like a babysitter in the royal families when they were first selected as dogs, if that's how it works. But they're great protectors of their family. They're very loyal. So this person is wondering about, the circus that they had caused, and they're kind of side-eyeing the whole situation and be like, what in the world did I just do here? Why did I cause all this betrayal? This person kept trying to get people to come over to their side and help them, and they're blocked from it all now. It's like smack center of the story, we've got the peacock, frustration, sprouts, and spirits. I guess you would have to put fishing and hover if we're going direct in the middle. But directly in the middle, 3 this way, 3 that way, we've got frustration and spirits are being blocked by spirits. The spirit world is making things difficult for this person, especially if we're going to be going off of our previous stories that we've had, where the ancient, oldest spirit of all spirits is coming to collect. You can't just get away with things. Not on the earthly realm, because there's rules and regulations you have to follow. And there's also, on the spiritual world, hovering from up above and in the ground. We've got the air and the ground. What is so above is below. You can't get away with doing things. It always comes to surface. Someone seriously thought that they had a ring of people around them that was going to help them. They had the ring of people in their camp. Perhaps that ring of people in their camp is dividing at this point. They're separating. Someone's thinking about the mess that they've made. It's too hot in the kitchen, folks. Someone's looking at the circus. All right. I will go ahead and post this in a few hours. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. And then I believe then you can make comments on the videos. We've got aircraft in the sky. I think this is a good time to say goodbye. Take care. Make it a great day.